Oh, the Manics there with A Design for Life. And James Dean Bradfield is my very special guest this afternoon. The BBC is celebrating the 90s all week this week, James. And that's when we saw the rise of the Manics, of course. What was that decade? I know decade's a long time, but what was it for you as a band?
The start of the very start of the 90s was unbelievably exciting for us, because obviously our first album came out in the early 90s. And then, obviously, the drama that surrounded the Manics, unfolded with Richey, etc. And then the second half of the 90s has having this bittersweet, gigantic success for the next 6 years. So, a complicated decade. But I would say from 96 onwards, oh, God, it seemed like simpler times, didn't it? It seemed like a very celebratory kind of country scene rebirthed with, kind of new Labour, etc. and all that. And you wasn't having the air sucked out of politics by all these massive kind of broad strokes of arguments of Brexit, etc., etc. It seemed, back then, it seemed just, I don't want to sound like an old crony, but it seemed like a much simpler time. And of course, the latter half of the 90s for us we had so much success that we enjoyed it, I gotta say. We really did.
And A Design for Life, you've said that saved you as a band. Yeah,
it did. I know that sounds dramatic, and people think that that's slightly over the top, but it really did, because obviously, we'd lost Richey, and he was such an integral part of the band for us and for the audience. So to actually probably come up with our best song since Motorcycle Emptiness, in that period, was something that you couldn't have guessed. It was like, it was like a stoppage time goal, or it was like a Hail Mary pass in the NFL. It really was that dramatic for us. It was like, wow, we've got exactly what we needed at the right time, and it, thank God it came to us.
Can I ask then about the fact that you're working on your 13th album now?
Yeah.
And where is this happening? Because you're building a studio as we speak.
I'm personally just building it brick by brick, of course.
So your toolbox is out?
No, I'm not.
Are you putting shelves
My toolbox is a disgrace. But kind of, no, it's kind of myself, Nick and Sion. We've kind of bought a place, and obviously somebody else is doing the work.
Okay.
Not.
So what's it going to be like? Because I've got visions of how a studio would look like from footage I've seen of various other.
Well, I don't want to give too many clues away because, it's a top secret location.
Okay, but inside, really. What do you really need?
You need a performance space, which is a live area.
Okay.
You need, ideally, you need a separate room where the blooming drummer can go, so he's not just clattering over everything, and so you can hear yourself. And then you need a control room with the big desk in, so you have a separation of all the sounds.
And
then you
else?
need, most importantly, you need a big rec room with the sports package on the TV. You need lots of radios dotted around. You need a good kitchen. You need a good microwave.
Okay.
And you need a walk-in shower, because producers will sometimes come and stay there.
Yeah.
And producers are just real prima donnas, They need to shower at any given time of the day.
Okay.
They need to be clean from the horrible ephemera and detritus that has infected their skin, which is your music, basically. And
do you have a bar?
Oh, good grief. Never, ever drink in the studio.
Never?
No. Never.
Not even in that little other room?
No, I don't even drink on tour because I'd lose my voice on tour. I know. Where did all the rock and roll go?
Oh, right.
That's why I go to so much rugby, so I can drink.
Well, let's talk about sport then, because I know it's very, very important.
At the moment, I really don't.
Well, what are you depressed about at the moment? What, the Welsh rugby team?
Well, the year's over, isn't it, really?
It is.
Except for obviously got higher hopes for, the Ospreys or Scarlets. Ospreys, are going to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Scarlets, I hope they retain that full spot.
Well, you're very good. You don't keep close to one team, then.
Well,
my team
are Cardiff Blues.
Okay.
It's transitional year. But, I was there for Munster Saturday night.
Right.
I actually think that next year, I know everybody, whether it be a Dragons fans or Scarlets fans or Ospreys, they'll laugh their heads off at this, but I think we're going to be brilliant next year.
Okay.
They'll laugh their heads off at that. So, but whatever, we'll see, mate. Don't you worry about it. With obviously the Welsh national team, it's not a vintage year. And I kind of agree with Reece Webb, but you feel as if we were just a few nuts and bolts away from actually winning those matches.
Yeah, it's been close.
And there's been a clamour to stop, Sam at number 10, etc., and all that kind of stuff.
I feel I've depressed you just asking the question.
No, it is. I mean, to be honest...
I'm so sorry. I thought you'd be a bit happier to talk about it.
After the England match, it has ruined my year.
Okay.
I'm happy to admit that, if there are any gloating England fans out there that actually just go, we hope so. No, you have. You ruined my year.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
What about the football then? Because we're going over to Dublin for the Republic of Ireland game.
Just under 3 weeks away now.
Yes, it is. So will you be going over? Because you did... put together the anthem, Together Stronger, Come On Wales?
No, not for that one, but I'm tying with the Serbia match, the away match.
All right.
That's going to be away matches in Belgrade can be quite serious affairs.
Okay.
They're quite guttural atmospheres, football matches.
And you
over
don't
in
think
Belgrade.
the one in Dublin will be the same?
Well, I've been to Dublin so many times,
Okay.
No, I fancy the Serbia match. Away.
Okay.
I do, but it feels like it's all up for grabs, or it's all there to lose in a heartbeat, and that's what makes it exciting again, to be honest.
Have the rest then, has Sion and Nicky heard this score to the chamber?
They were just endlessly rip the make out of me.
Are they calling you Hans Zimmer now?
No.
John Williams? No?
No, they'll probably make up a little an Oscar statuette of foil out for me or something. No, I mean it's very easy for me to separate what I do outside of the band with the band. Trying to write songs with the band is still the most important thing. It just is completely, and nothing ever encroaches upon that. I only do stuff outside of the band if I really want to, which I did with this. But if I ever did something that encroached upon the band, I just wouldn't do it, basically.
Well, all the very best. The premiere is tonight of The Chamber, of course, and all the details are coming up here now, because you can see The Chamber at Chapter Arts Centre from tomorrow until the 16th of March, and then it's going to be on Blu-ray, DVD and digital download from the 20th. And, of course, the soundtrack, I should say, by James, is available on vinyl from this Friday.
About 10 copies or so.
Don't. Come on. All the very best. I hope it's the first of many. And all the very best with your summer tour as well. Yeah, we've got some festivals booked in there. Yes, we have. Got including
our wellies ready.
Llangollen?
Yes, we have. It was the second time I played there. I sang with the choir there when I was 12 years old.
Oh, God, that's
I'm coming back.
What a comeback.
Yes.
James Dean Bradfield, it's been lovely speaking to you today. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.